Probably the two biggest mistakes I see women in business make when it comes to their HR. Number one is they delay difficult conversations. They want to be kind, they want to nurture, they want to do all of these things. And whilst that's an amazing skill to have, and yes, you need it, there is also a time and a place. Clear is kind. If you are unclear, that is unkind. The reasons that we do that is we don't want to hurt someone's feelings. We would rather hurt ourselves than hurt someone else. We're too anxious of what the outcome might be if we have that conversation. But if you delay difficult conversations, it actually makes it worse. A couple of reasons. One, you're going to make it bigger in your mind than it actually is. By the time you get around to having that conversation, your brain is in a fight, flight, or freeze mode. That's when we tend to stumble, avoid, go around, change directions, smooth over, go in over prepared or under prepared. The more you delay it, the worse the outcome. What you can do instead is make sure you're taking notes. Make sure whatever that difficult conversation is, if it is a case of underperformance, for example, that is where you need to sit down and note take what is actually been happening with dates, with examples. Be clear, give an exact example. On Tuesday last week with X case, this was the outcome. Be really, really detailed on those sorts of things. Otherwise, people are going, what do you mean? I don't understand. And they're trying, you see people do this and they're looking and they're trying to find the situation and they can't, okay? Whereas if you say X case, X date, this was the situation, they're like, got it. On that as well, then also know what the outcome is that you're actually needing them to get to. Example, you're here, this happened on the case, this is what we actually need to see, this is the expectation, and how are we going to get there? Okay, how are we going to go from this situation to this situation and work together to come up with a plan? If you come at that with, hey, I really want to see you succeed, I want to work with you, I want to help you grow and learn, and that's where your nurturing can come in. But the facts, you need to be very, very clear. Mistake number two is hiring too fast and firing too slow. Again, the empathy comes in, the connection, and you're in the interview and there's all the excited emotions happening, and you're hiring a person and you come in and you're like, tell me about this and tell me about that, and then they might start to connect with you, and all of those little things start to become, I don't know, you might see a friend in them. Making sure that when you're hiring slow and firing fast. Okay, so you want to really have a process before you hire, before you even put that ad out. You need to have a process of what that hiring looks like, what are the benchmarks that you need to see, what are the values that they need to hit, and how can you solicit those values without saying, tell me about your values? Because if you just say, tell me about your values, and if they've done the smart thing, they've looked at your website and they're like, oh, there's their values, I'm just going to say these. You need to be thought out in that process. What are the things that I really need to see? What are the values, purpose? Like, get to know the person as well without allowing your own emotions to get all wrapped up in the excitement. And then on the flip side of that, the fire fast, again, that goes back to point one, is the avoidance of challenging conversations. When it comes to that and you onboard somebody, you have a probationary period. It might be 3 months, it might be 6 months. I recommend 6 months, only because people can maintain for 3 months. You might find on the 4th month, and that's what often happens. People come to us and they're like, they were so good. How long have they been working for you? 4 months. How long was their probationary period? 3 months. So what you want to be doing there as well is document everything. I would rather people come to me with too many notes that I have to look through than not enough. When you're in that period of, okay, I've hired this person, I've got them, it's great, we know the expectations, we have the onboarding mapped out, we have our one-on-one meetings booked in, I know what the one-on-one meetings need to look like, we have the expectations really, really clear, the job description is clear, the KPIs are clear, we're doing the thing, they're not meeting the targets, they're not meeting the benchmarks. That's when you fire fast. That doesn't look like you didn't reach your KPI this week, see you later. It doesn't look like that, but it looks like note-taking, having that challenging conversation that I talked about in point 1. And if the situation or the behavior does not change, that's when you fire fast. There is a process to that, but again, clear is kind. I hope that helps the ladies in business. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave a comment below and we'll answer them for you as best we can.